interested adults and children in the community. Call 440-525-7220 or stop in to make an appointment today.
Of what got you into music, all that.
Scott and Steve Show, every Wednesday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio.
For one-on-one personal research assistance, make an appointment with a Lakeland librarian. Lakeland librarians offer personal help with research for assignments, projects, and papers. Stop by the library, reference desk, or call 440-525-7425 to schedule an appointment for a 20, 30, or 40-minute session. The library is located on the 3rd floor of the facility.
You're listening to the magnificent, fantastic
Lake
Effect Radio.
It's a local music spotlight here on Lake Effect Radio. Nathan James, Purpose Driven.
And live today, here on Lake Effect Radio Station, we have Loud Reality Records on the line. How you doing, guys?
We're doing great. How's it going?
Not bad. How about yourself?
Yeah, we're doing good.
Okay. And we have ID and Keyloh with us. I don't know which one of you guys want to go first. You guys want to introduce one another? Or yourself? My bad.
Yeah, well, this is ID.
And I'm Keyloh.
So guys, I gotta ask, especially ID in that, since you founded Loud Reality, what made that, why did you want to start that?
Well, that's a great question. Me and Keyloh, we got together and we basically, we had, Loud Reality was already, existent, but it was not anything that was being moved on. So eventually we got together and we're like, we got to make a move on this and make it something. And we started from the ground up and just tried to build something amazing out of it.
You have any more you want to add on, Keyloh?
I mean, we both just love music, and we really wanted to bring great music to Detroit and have a name behind it.
Okay.
And that's Loud Reality.
Then I got to ask, how did you guys meet up?
Well, we actually, we've been friends for, about, 5 years now. We're just, met through friends, so we ended up finding out that we both make music, and we started making music together, and this is where, the friendship/partnership grew from there.
Okay. I do like it in that. But I'm sorry to ask, so what got you guys into music in the first place? That way back thing of, you have ID and that actually, late or coming up with songs and that, then now with Keyloh and that, wanting to actually produce and that. What made that all you want to go for that?
Well, me, ID, I actually started with music. Well, I've been playing instruments my whole life, but I started writing and recording and when I was about, 13 years old, and then started producing when I was about 18, and then when we got together, we started making a bunch of original music together and producing, and that's what made me want to start, was just like things in life. It was interesting lyrically what someone can do, and then when you take life experiences and you put them into song format, that was what was really interesting to me. That's what made me want to continue going. As far as Keyloh, he'll answer that for himself.
I mean, I just grew up, a lot of music in the house, a lot of art, and always wanted to get into it and never really did because I always thought it was too late in my life. Until about 4 years ago, I just decided I'm going to do it anyway. And something I always wanted to do, make music, so I'm glad to be doing it.
Then I got to be the one person that asks, what was your first instrument that you ever played? And I really don't count the kazoo and all that. Yeah, UID.
My first instrument that I ever played was a guitar.
Okay. Any, like, why you suddenly changed off of Or do you actually still play it? Actually, that would be one.
I still play it time to time whenever I'm, whenever we want to add real instruments into producing. We do, we like to experiment with instruments still. I don't have as much time to be playing it as I used to, but it's just one of those things where I love guitar, and since the day I started it, I continued playing it for years, and then I only stopped playing it as much because of life. Everyone has work and things they have to do. But once we got back into making music seriously and producing, you bring back those instruments, you bring back all the knowledge you had from before, and it's like riding a bike.
Okay. Then I gotta go into everything else out of everything that you so far written, what would you say is the most meaningful, like, EP album that you put out so far? And then you could have Keyloh in that throw in of, especially since he's sort of, overlooking it and all that. He could throw his input into this.
Oh, sure, for sure. Well, in my opinion, the most meaningful project that we put out hasn't came out yet, in my opinion. It's Emotion Sickness. It's the new album that's coming out in February.
Okay.
It's a 20-song album, and it's just like the most hours, the most work, the most complexity that I put into an album, writing-wise, instrument-wise, everything-wise. That's my most meaningful one to date, and that hasn't come out yet. But from songs that are out, from Poetic Thought is a really meaningful album. It came out in February. That's just an album where I really just displayed a lot of life experiences into songs, and really went deep on it.
Okay.
That's my opinion on what's the most meaningful so far.
Yeah, I'd have to go with. I agree. Poetic Thought was really ID's first project where he kind of broke away from the rap, and he's always expressed it in his writing, his realism and meaningfulness. That's a word, but Poetic Thought was really the first time, and Emotion Sickness is going to be that sort of sequel to it. So this February, you get to hear it.
Okay. So I sort of had to be this person now. What's been the most hardest song or project to accomplish that you either have done or done? Huh?
What's been the most what kind of project?
The most, like, hardest, or that you...
Oh, hard.
It took that, you had to come back to it,
The hardest project to date, honestly, was probably Lost Waves. We had to come back to that. We started making that just about a year and some change ago, just a year and a few months ago. And we didn't drop it until July of this year. So we didn't drop it until basically like a year after we made it. And it was done, I believe, a few months in. It was done like 5 months in, but we had to continuously keep going back to remix, retouch up some things. And it was honestly mostly between Lost Waves and Poetic Thought. When Poetic Thought came out, we learned a lot, but when Lost Waves came out, we had a totally different level of mixing and production and things of that sort that we really tried to apply them to the album. That's why we kept going back to it. Every day it's like you learn something new, and there's different ways you can take your music to another level. And that came and from us doing that with Lost Waves, because it was such a hard album to finish, even though it was only 6 songs, it was still tough. We had to keep going back to it. Because of what we did with Lost Waves, Emotion Sickness, now the new album, is reflecting all that hard work that we put into Lost Waves because we learned a lot from it. But that was basically the toughest one.
So what do you think, Keyloh? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, I agree 100%. It was six songs, not a lot, but it took a long time. We put a lot into it, kept going back. We ended up getting new equipment halfway through and basically re-recorded the entire album and learned some new stuff. So it was a long process.
Most definitely. I could see that. But I'll sort of go with this of, if you could work with anyone that sort of inspired you with your whole musical pursuit, who would that be? Or you could maybe like pick 3 if you have, quite a few.
For me, for ID, it's basically, in today's music industry, I would have to pick probably Tory Lanez, Ty Dolla $ign, and probably John Bellion. I'd love to work with those 3 for sure. My dream to work with is probably, Lil Wayne. I really want to work with him, and I really want to work with Eminem, just because Eminem's like the rap side of me, where that was my roots, how I started music. Eminem's just my favorite rapper, so I'd have to do a song with him.
I got you.
If I had a chance.
I got you.
Yeah, great collab would be, Chris Brown or Black, even Ty Dolla $ign, like you said. There's so many great artists out there. It'd be a tough choice.
That's why we're always open of maybe one, but then you could expand it out to 3 in that, because everyone has a tough time with that one. Always.
Yeah.
Like a good one would be of, if you can have or perform at any venue, United States, outside, any place, where would you want to go?
I never got asked that before. Maybe like Madison Square Garden or something like that. Like maybe like, 'cause that's such a historic, place, or even like performing at like, what's that concert, the Lollapalooza? Lollapalooza, like
so
like
many
big
huge
festivals. Yeah.
Just not even in America, but in the whole world. So many festivals, so any of those would be great.
I like it. But I'll sort of go. If you had to go to some random person that you never met before, that's never heard of you, and explain how would you explain your music, your taste, your style to them?
Well, I would have to say it's basically, it's not completely crazy different, but I would have to say it's very different than what you currently hear in the mainstream, I guess, on the radio, and it's just a mixture of a lot of genres. Like if people like 90s music and early 2000s, it's a lot of mixture of those kinds of songs, like a feel. We're very nostalgic with our music. We really like the classics. We like old, we really love 90s, early 2000s music. We love older music, classic rock. We like a lot of like nostalgic music where it's like you can take I feel like if anybody hasn't heard that music, like new generations or anyone, that they're really missing out. That's where our music really takes influences from them and from those kind of sounds, and we put it into our music. That's why it's kind of like it's different than what you really hear.
Okay. I'm feeling that. Then I have something for Keyloh in that. What's been sort of that experience in trying to get ID's sound, or getting him to push himself to be, better, whether it's, or, try to inspire him more to pursue a particular direction? You have any sort of little
yeah, when someone is working by themselves, they tend to get locked in a box. I'm the same and he's the same, so he produces a lot too, so when he has me and we produce together, he produces by himself, and he's got another opinion on his music. So it changes the way we make music together, and it gets us excited. We get excited, to have someone else in there who thinks the song is amazing as well. and you're posting about it, and you know, that's what really gets someone to pursue it and go hard.
I gotcha. Now I'm going to sort of be one person. If you could perform live any place, anywhere big like Madison Square Garden or etc., if you could perform with anyone, who would you choose?
I'd probably want to perform. I mean, if it called for it, I'd want to perform with someone like Chris Brown. I hear like his live performances are supposed to be amazing. Like the guy takes it to another level. Like I'd want to perform with somebody like that, and that really is a really good performer, not just an artist, just a really good performer in a live performance.
Mm.
I really think from what I've seen so far, I really think he's probably one of the best ones when it comes to concerts and stuff.
Okay. You agree with that, Keyloh?
Oh yeah, I agree. He does have some crazy shows.
Okay. Now I'm sort of in a way, because I sort of forgot to tell you in that, but if people want to check out, like, ID's work, about Loud Reality Records and that, where should they go?
Well, to check me out, they can go to my Instagram. I always update everything on Instagram. Everything that I've ever released is on there. My Instagram is @musicbyid. And they can also go to Keyloh's Instagram, and that's Keyloh @Keyloh Music. And then the best way to do it, obviously, besides following us, if they want to keep up with our daily stuff and, you know, things that we do, they can just go to LawReality.com. LawReality.com has the whole discography from the whole label and updates and new music's there. But the best way to keep up with us is through our Instagram, just @Keyloh Music and @musicbyid.
Okay. Then I sort of had to ask so where, with the ID name, was that your actual name, or is that something you just came up with?
No, my actual name is Goran, but the way I came up with ID is actually, it's funny because I had a lot of different names, a lot of different like rap names and just artist names in general. And a lot of them came before me and Keyloh got into, you know, working on music together. But then a lot of them came after as well, where I was just bouncing a bunch of names off of him and my friend Calvin. And we just kept on going back and forth with names. And eventually I was like, man, I feel like I'm in a different place in my career, in my music, and in my life, where I can't just take just a regular name, in other words, like a it's not fitting for me, a name that wasn't fitting for me. So I chose, when I thought of ID, it was basically one of those things where ID was like my identity. Like, I don't want to have a name. I don't want to have any crazy name. I just want my music to be my identity. So that's where it just basically came from. It's just like, I don't have a crazy name. It's just ID. But when you listen to my music, you know who ID is, basically.
Okay.
It has its own identity.
I got you in that. So, if you want in that, because I actually have your music net loaded up in that over here. If you want to take a quick break, and if anyone that's listening except a CD player went to sleep. Okay, there we go. Then we can go jump off to the side in that and play everyone a track in that. Would you be cool with that?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. We'd love everybody to hear something.
So here we go. Not bad, guys. Hello? Oh, I had that somewhat turned down. You guys have any certain things you guys want to cover?
Did you wrong? This ain't just a song, I'm the one that put you on. You want a fairy tale, but this ain't a lullaby.
Oops, wrong one. So we are back, everyone, with Keyloh and ID from Loud Reality Records. So, guys, I gotta ask. Keyloh?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. So with Motion Sickness, that I know you guys got coming out November 15th and that, you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we have a new album coming out, or I have a new album coming out, ID, February 14th on my birthday. It's called Emotion Sickness. And that album is basically a 20-song album. It's a crazy album. It's great. We have the first single coming out from that album. It's called Lose Control. and that's going to be coming out on November 15th in a few days. And we just want to make sure everyone knows about it. And they can actually, that song will be available everywhere on all major platforms, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, and mostly, obviously, if they just go to LawReality.com, they'll find it on all platforms, the links to all the platforms. So just want everybody to keep a lookout for it. November 15th, Lose Control, first single off of Emotion Sickness.
I sort of have to ask about. So, what do you have planned for 2018? Since we're sort of approaching that up a little bit quick.
Oh, yeah, great question. We have big plans for 2018. First of all, we have we have Emotion Sickness coming out, which we want to, which we're really we have a lot going into that album. We really want everyone to hear it, and we really. We're hoping for big things from that release. And then we have a bunch of new releases coming from our artists that are from Law Reality. And just new things we're working on. We're going to be working on Lost Waves Part 2, which is going to be, really fun. Me and Keyloh are going to get back to work on the new album together. And it just, shows, releases, and we're just going to continue to put out new music. So we have some big things planned, trying to get some features together, doing some songs with some talent, and you're just getting on a bunch of people's playlists.
I got you in that. Hey, it's no shame in that. Nice. Sorry I had to ask both of you. So, when you were growing up and that, was there that one certain person in your family, whether maybe it was elementary school, that sort of pushed you in the music way growing up?
For me, for ID, I kind of started music so little. It was just, my sisters played, I believe, clarinet when they were little, and it was just kind of one of those things where it was already in the family, and then I wanted to be in band, and when I got into band, I wanted to play the coolest instrument that was to me, so that's why I wanted to play guitar. But getting into music, I just always loved listening to music in general. Even when I was little, I had a stereo system in my room, and I always had music on. And when I got older, there was people that influenced me to continue to keep doing music, and it was people like Eminem, that was back then. Then it was a Lil Wayne type person, and then after them, just a few years ago, Tory Lanez, John Bellion, those guys influenced me to get back into it, just because they were so small time at the time, they're so talented. And they were kind of in my position, and Bryson Tiller, and these guys were all just, basically giving up on music and brought some light to me where I was I should just continue doing it. But those are my big inspirations. And Keyloh has different ones, obviously.
Yeah, there was we grew up, same thing, listening to music a lot. My dad's an artist in a different type. He paints and he does a lot of glass work, so he always kind of just pushed us to be creative and do stuff like that. And when I was a kid, instead of watching cartoons, I would watch MTV Jams all day. That's what I did, like a nerd, but I loved it. And a few years later, started playing piano, and here I am. That's it.
I gotcha. And one thing how does your songwriting process and that sort of work, with both, the producer? Because that's the one thing is I never actually had one person as a producer than, the artist and that. And just curiosity, how does that all go down?
Well, both of us produce. I produce and Keyloh produces. The difference is we don't produce everything together. Some songs are produced only by him. Some songs are only by me, and then some songs are by both of us. It just because we have, we can't be in the studio every single day together, and obviously we're going to continue creating. And I have my own style. He has his own style, but this is why it's really cool when we do get together. We make different kind of music, but when it comes to producing, we both produce. It just certain times it's together, certain times it's separately. Writing wise, I write all my own music. Everything I've ever put out, I wrote. from start to finish and record it. So the writing process is basically however the music feels to me. If I can, you know, and Keyloh can attest to this, whenever we sit in a room, we'll play either my beat, his beat, or both of our beats, whatever it is. Sometimes I'll come up with a song on the spot. Sometimes I just won't. I'll think the beat's amazing, and I just won't ever do anything to it. It's just one of those things where it just has to come to me.
I gotcha.
Which is weird because I actually have over 1,000 songs on my phone that I've written. So it's kind of like I've made songs to so many beats, but I just haven't finished a lot. I haven't recorded any of those songs, you know. So
I got you in that. You're just one of those really busy beavers, in a way of putting it. So how about you, Keyloh?
As far as doing that, yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, having two people, it's, you learn from each other and you kind of compete with each other in a friendly way. And we always have a say in the others. Like if I send him a beat, I'll be like, "What do you think?" And he might say, "You got to tweak this a little bit, otherwise it's perfect." He sends me beats and I do the same. So it's always two opinions versus one, and that's what helps make the music better.
Okay. Then I'm sorry going to put you guys in a thinking motion that now of from a year from today, where would you want to see Loud Reality Records be at? Not only you guys be at.
Well, we see hopefully Loud Reality at a standpoint in the industry where it's a well accredited label and somebody that everyone knows about, and a label that people are actually reaching out. Not just us signing people, just people reaching out to get signed, people reaching out to work with us, with the label and with our artists. And we just want to see the label become a well-oiled machine, just constantly doing some big things. So, that's why we want everybody to keep a lookout for Loud Reality. And as far as, me and Keyloh, we have our future endeavors we have in mind, such as our album's doing great numbers, doing great work, everyone hearing it. And, Keyloh's got his thing that he wants to do. He wants to do an album with artists that he produced with different artists. We're going to work on Lost Ways, too. We're probably going to have that for everybody next year. And then for myself, I just want to grow and become a better artist and, hopefully have maybe some recognition next year. So we'll see.
I gotcha. How about you, Keyloh?
Yeah, definitely like to be working with a lot of different artists and, always work with ID, but there's so many different styles that we both like, and, he would want to work with other artists and other producers as well. It's all great and different collaborations, and, we want to see bigger fan bases, more popularity for all of Loud Reality, not just us. Well, that's what we're hoping. We're hoping it's a successful year.
I gotcha.
And for Emotion Sickness.
True. Then I sort of have to be a little bit of an extreme. Where's your 5-year goal? By like 5 years from now in November, what are you hoping sort of achieve by then? I know it's a little bit
by
pushing
then?
it. Yeah.
Well, it's actually, our dream is different than other artists in a way. So in 5 years, someone else could see themselves in a different position than we do. And this is like something that we can both speak for each other on. We don't want to be, which is weird, but we don't want to be super famous. It's not what our goal is here. We want to just make amazing music, and we want to have a fan base, like a pure fan base that really just loves the music and continue supporting us, because, that's how we keep the lights on, and that's how we can continue to make great music, is with the support. But we just want to be, honestly, we want to be at a point in 5 years where we're really winning awards for amazing music. We're working with big artists because not to be only featured on the song, ID with someone big. It's just maybe I'm writing for someone big, or maybe we're producing a song for someone big. It's just we want to be behind amazing music in general. So we want to be well known in 5 years and just be able to make music for other people, for other artists, and push their careers and show them what, our style. And, we want people to love our style. So in 5 years, you know what, we don't want to be super famous. We just want to be in a position where we have enough exposure and I should say fame to where we can do what we want to do with the music and continue to make it. You know what I mean? So, and this way we can continue to push the label, push La Reality, push our artists, and work with new talent.
So what do you think, Keyloh? You have any more elaboration on that?
Yeah, we definitely just want to make an impact and inspire others the way, we were inspired hearing music growing up. And have people, say ID or Keyloh when they think about a great artist. That's the dream, and being able to, make a living out of it.
I gotcha. So, the one thing that I want to sort of see, because I never actually sort of really examined into the whole, Detroit music scene and that. I want to sort of see, how would you best describe that?
It's very, I don't know, if you live in Michigan and you know what the Detroit sound is. It kind of, there's a guy that's popular now. He's T Grizzly.
Okay.
He's like the epitome of Detroit sound, as far as the pure Detroit music. Eminem, Big Sean, Dej Loaf, they were on a different type of sound, but they're still Detroit, but they're just not the epitome of Detroit sound, of actual real Detroit rap music. Detroit music in general, just not rap. I'm talking R&B and things like that. Yeah, I mean, you name it. There's so much here. There's so many different artists, so many different styles that, and us being one of those styles is you'll find it all. That's why there's only a select few that make it out of Detroit, that make it out of Michigan. It's just there's different styles, and it's someone's turn this year. You know what I mean? Last year was T Grizzly's turn. He made it out of Detroit with that sound. So it's just who's up next. You know what I mean? There's so many different styles that eventually you might catch on. And contrary to popular belief, Detroit's in my opinion, is a great source for music. It's just there's so much here that people don't know. They know New York. They know Los Angeles. They know Miami. They have sounds. They have their music. Their artists are coming out of there, but they're reluctant to see that Detroit has so much to offer. So. It's all over the place.
Okay. You have any more on that, Keyloh?
Yeah, as far as, cities and music and whatnot, I mean, Toronto was pretty much non-existent in the music scene until Drake came along and put it on. And we don't have that Detroit sound, really, but if our music gets that popular, then it will be considered a Detroit sound in a sense. People will want to, work with us and represent us by where we're from. So, hopefully all goes well.
Okay. I gotcha. So, I'm sort of going to make you guys sort of really pick. If you out of all your work, what would be that one song that describes you?
It's a good question. Currently, that's a tough one. You got me there. Honestly,
how about
for me,
this,
I guess
too?
a song that's currently out that can describe me is probably Lullaby.
Okay.
That's currently out. Emotion Sickness is going to have a lot of those songs, but that's currently out, I would have to say Lullaby is one of those songs that describe me. And if we're talking on old albums, a song like Gone, New Year, Driving, Unpoetic Thought, those songs are also me. For Keyloh, he has his own, but that's me.
Yeah, I actually agree with those songs just because of the sound. I don't get to write, but as far as production-wise, that sound, the lullaby sound and New Year, those are the sounds that really represent us, and that's the music we love making.
Okay. I gotcha. So, I sort of have to do this in a little bit of a way of, if you can go back all the way to the beginning and choose your role in music, what way would you go?
So like going back and just choosing a different road in music?
If you didn't know what you knew now and had to start all over.
If I had to start all over, and if I knew what I know now, it'd be a totally different story. I mean, I would probably make the same music I'm making right now currently, because it took a while for me to find this sound that I have. Same thing for Keyloh. It took a while for us to find this new sound. But if I knew what I know now, I probably would start off with this sound. Mix wise, production wise, I would continue making this music just on a different level. If I was making it when I first started, to this point, I'd be a completely different level. But because it takes time, it's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of testing things out. It's a lot of experimenting. It's a lot of, you don't know until you really try new things, try new sounds, what your real sound is going to be. So I'd probably start off with the sound I'm doing right now, just on a different level than I was doing music then. So, and obviously promotion, a lot of promotion, a lot of marketing myself, promoting myself, and the things that I'm doing right now, I probably would have done back then if I knew it.
I gotcha. What do you think, Keyloh?
If I had to go back, I mean, I didn't play a single instrument until I actually started producing. So if I can go back, that'd probably be my biggest goal. Just get into all the instruments, piano, guitar, drums, and that would be a huge difference in production today. We'd be making, like you said, the same sound, but better. What more could you ask for than that?
I gotcha. Then, let's say, what was the most memorable performance that you so far have done to now?
To me, it's the first performance is the most memorable. It's just one of those. The first one was the one that left the mark. It's just the nerves right before you hit the stage, and then on stage you still have them, but then eventually they go away, and you just go, and it's just like you're not there, and you forget everything after the performance. You forget what you were doing during the performance after you're done, and everyone has to tell you how the performance was, because just that feeling, that adrenaline that goes through you. So to me, it was just the first performance.
Okay. I got you in that. Then, what would be your dream tour you would want to do?
With someone, or you're talking like...
Well, you...
Where?
Sort of you of, if you want to include people, you want to do it yourself. Not only you could, sort of add in the whole thing of, you want to do it just, Michigan, you want to go a little above that, you want to go 50 states. I sort of let you sort of map that.
For me, it'd be, my dream tour obviously would be all around the world. I'd want to not only visit all those places. I've been to Europe, but I would love to perform for all those different countries and different people and different while I'm there, spend some time there and see things. But at the same time, I would include people in my tour because I just feel like it's fun to have different artists, different vibe on your tour. At the same time, eventually I would want to have my tour just by myself as well at one point. That's assuming I do multiple tours, but, having different people on there for sure, and, just doing all around the world. There's not really a box I want to put on a tour. I'd do it everywhere. So.
You have any input on that, Keyloh?
Yeah, it'd be amazing to travel the world and really see everything and get paid while doing it. But I mean, there's so many different places. Japan, Europe, even South America and the U.S. be great, and to have like a whole crew, all different artists. Even making music while you're there with different artists.
Okay. Then I sort of had to ask what was that sort of like that one fun experience in like recording or creating a song? What was that like one that it's like, well, this was, sort of a fun way of coming up with a song or developing it? I know you sort of had to have that one story, that one song that sticks out in that sort of category.
Yeah, it's basically like, it's actually very exciting when you're creating because you get to a point where you're making a song. Now, when me and him, when we make a song together or by ourselves, it doesn't matter. We can make it so quickly, but at the same time, when we're making new music now, it's so exciting because let's say we're in the same room and we're making a new song. Like, we'll use a new sound, or we'll have something playing like a loop of our beat. And it's like, wow, we're just thinking of ideas, and I'll come up with a couple words or something, and I'll sing something, and it'll be like, wow, we got to finish this right now. That's the excitement of it. Like, and then we just continue doing it, and I'm over here writing. We get the beat mixed, whatever, we get the beat done, and then I go in the booth and I just record. But it's just one of those things where that's the exciting part of it. It's like you want to finish the song as soon as possible, and then after you finish the song, you do a little mix on it just so you can listen to it right when you get in the car when you leave. You know what I mean? Like, you want to listen to it for the next, week or so, just listening to a new song. That's the excitement of it.
I got you in that. So, Keyloh, what do you think?
Making new music is always exciting, especially when it's a song you love. You really look forward to showing people, and you can't wait to see what everyone thinks about it. That's probably the most exciting thing. Going in the car the next day, later that day, listening to it, blasting it. You can't believe you made it. That's the biggest thing.
I gotcha. I know since we only have 12 minutes in that, sort of a little left in that, I figure sort of that, sort of recap a few different things to that of if people want to check out Loud Reality, not including your work, where should they go?
To check us out, you can go to Instagram at Music by ID, and you can go to at Keyloh Music. And then also the biggest one, go to LoudReality.com. That's where we have all of our new music, and that's where we have all updates to anything we're doing, and including our artists that we have on the label. So Music by ID on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and then at Keyloh Music, all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then LoudReality.com. You just look up Loud Reality Records, and then you can just go to LoudReality.com, and that's where all of our music is.
The not including Motion Sickness that's coming out.
Yes, and we also have Emotion Sickness coming out. So if everyone follows us, they can keep tabs on that. It's going to be an amazing album. So it's not just because we made it. It really is. It's going to be an amazing album. And the first single off of Emotion Sickness will be dropping November 15th. So you can go on LoudReality.com, and it'll be there. It'll be on Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. And then if you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, we'll also have updates on those as well for the album and for the singles.
I sort of had to ask in one way. Where did you come up with the title of Motion Sickness?
For me, it's the same thing as Poetic Thought. It's kind of like a follow-up album to Poetic Thought. For me, when I write, when I think of music, when I make music, I don't like hype music like everybody. I don't like just, what's on the radio. I like, in a way, not depressing music, but it's not depressing. It's just music that has some meaning behind it, that you can really listen to words. So whenever I make the music, I always, when it comes to titles and hooks and things, you have to think of something that's familiar, that has a double meaning, you know what I mean? So in this case, on the album, for Emotion Sickness, I was actually talking to Keyloh about it when I was thinking of the name. I was talking about, you know how they have motion sickness and stuff like that, seasickness and things like that.
Yeah.
Because you're all over the place, right? You're just moving too much, and it's like, for me, I should name the album Emotion Sickness and just have a bunch of different songs on there. Different, there's some rap songs, there's some songs, there's a lot of love songs on there, but different versions of love songs. There's some songs where I'm just talking about what's going on in my life, things like that. So it's all over the place emotion-wise. There's some hype songs, some happy songs like Lose Control, the single that's coming out. There's another song called Famous, and I'm just talking about like a song where I'm talking to my girl, talking about what would happen if I was famous. There's things like that, and it just like that's why Emotion Sickness to me was such a good name for it. It was just all over the place, and so is the cover art for the actual album. It's just 4 different emojis of 4 different faces, 4 different expressions. So that's where the name came from. I was just sitting one day and I was just thinking of a name for the album, and that came to my mind. So.
No, sorry I had to ask with everything. Who does your album art?
It depends. For Emotion Sickness, I did it. Lose Control, the single that's coming out, I did that. The last album, Lost Waves, it was basically like a mixture. It was it was basically we started it, and our company, our PR company we work with, helped us finish it. And Faceless Technologies, they're great. So they just get the job done professionally. That's why, we sent it to them, and they basically put the final touches on it. It's just in that, and we have another guy that we also use a lot. It's
Jared Cloyne.
Yeah, Jared Cloyne. He basically draws amazing, and he did the Lip Fuse 2 album work, and he did actually the La Reality Records, the actual La Reality Records logo. He drew that, so we used him, and then so it's kind of like a mixture.
Okay.
Currently, mostly ourselves, it's because we want to get it done, as quick as possible, but it's just a mixture.
Here and there, when you had the time, you actually have others in that. I gotcha.
Right.
Well, with that, I gotta sort of ask, what was that one, either that song, that album, that meant the most? When you're going through, you're somewhat trying to grate yourself and that your sound, you're starting off in the whole music industry and that you're growing up, that, sort of got you through those like hard times of, well, I don't know if I could do this, sort of that, working your way up in the whole ladder.
For me, it wasn't just one song. I can't put one song in that category.
How about
it was a lot of mixture of songs. But like someone that continued to inspire me, consistently. I'm talking from when I was young to now. It is someone like Eminem. Eminem, just keep saying his name because he is from Michigan, but he's from Detroit, but that's not the only reason why. When I used to listen to him, I used to listen to his rhyme schemes, to what he was saying. Like, he would always surprise you with something new, and that's why, he's someone that consistently inspired me continuously from when I was a little kid to now. So that's like one of my influences. And his songs had a lot of I should say emotions in them as well. And that was huge too. He spoke a lot about his life and things like that. So it wasn't just that Eminem that everybody knows that just said whatever was on his mind. He had a lot of meaningful songs. So
I gotcha. So you have any parts Keyloh? Wow.
Nothing in particular.
Okay.
I mean, I love random songs. Not always the same artist, not always the same style. Just that's why I don't really have a favorite artist either. Just sometimes they make a song I love, and they might never make another song I like ever again. So it's always different.
I gotcha. But yeah, guys, I don't have anything more. I don't know if it's any certain thing you want to sort of push in that.
Oh, well, no, we really enjoyed the interview. We really enjoyed and appreciate everybody listening in, and we appreciate everybody that that follows us and is going to follow us. And we appreciate your time as well. And we just want to mention one more time, if you want to just keep up with everything that's going on, lawreality.com and at Music by ID and at Keyloh Music on all social media. So just keep up with us, and I promise everyone that's listening, new songs coming soon. There's a drop on the 15th. Any song that's coming up, you're going to love it. So we just look forward to future releases and everybody keeping up with us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Nat, guys, and that, sort of stumbling across paths and that. Definitely, I do like your music and that. I sort of been digging in many different things, checking things in the past and that out. Definitely keep up the work, and I hope to see you guys at some point in time. Not only like in late April.
Well, we hope to come through.
And not only like in April and that, we actually are sort of trying to plan something a little bit bigger if you guys are sort of down. And that maybe in that.
Well, definitely, you talk to our management to Faithless, and then we can definitely maybe set something up for sure.
So,
love to come down there in Ohio.
Or that, or we have Skype in that, and especially what you guys got planned in that for in 2018. That definitely good work, guys, and then keep it up.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So I'll sort of let you guys go in that, but once again, we got Loud Reality, Keyloh, and ID. I sort of messed that up. I'm sorry that. That's always one of my pet peeves in life, of messing up someone's name. But it's been a pleasure, guys, and have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
And bye.